I'm here with Josh Davis, and he is our egg and ham farmer. Also sells chickens and what else, Josh?
Well, we sell a lot of pork products, chicken, eggs, and goat's milk.
Okay, he is here with us at Sweet Katie Beats, and we're going to get a little background on him. Go ahead, Josh. How did you get started in farming?
Well, I was an engineer for a while, still am, at base, and I kind of got into dabbling and growing and gardening, and then it just sort of, expanded with the gateway drug animal, right, of the chicken. Everybody says that, buying laying hens is like the gateway drug to getting into farming, because you get started, you get your feet wet, and you can't stop. And so we started with chickens, and then eventually got into, growing chicken for meat and pork and dairy. So, yeah.
Okay, awesome. And so tell us a little bit about your farm.
Well, we're located out in Pocahontas, Illinois, and we kind of purchased the farm, I guess, 4 or 5 years ago from an older couple that originated on that place. And they built the farm up, and there's lots of farm buildings and silos, and they got out of the business, about 10-15 years ago completely and stopped using it for its purpose. And so we came in wanting to, kind of rehab it and turn it back into an operating farm, and that's what we did. We have all of our buildings functioning now, serving purposes, and the land we have is about 18 acres that we farm pretty heavily, and so mainly just animals. So.
What are your farming philosophies? Or I know that your methodology is a little different than a conventional farmer these days. So tell us a little about that.
Right. So we have kind of like a joke, I guess you could say, that we farm grass, or we're grass farmers, and part of that goes to the fact that we don't really focus on growing crops that are annual crops like corn and soybeans and whatnot. We focus on growing perennial crops that we can plant one time and just let them kind of go.
Right.
And that way all of the animals can kind of consume that every year, and it comes back, and we're sort of soil building. And so the animals will disturb, consume a lot of the perennial plants, and then they'll leave behind their waste matter, which helps to compost and build up topsoil. And so we're mainly trying to just recover and rebuild the land itself to make it more productive and yield more overall product. And so
so kind of like in the same vein as like the Joel Salatin, that using the sun as your source of energy rather than using lots of artificial or petrochemical fertilizers and such.
Right. You don't spray or anything like that, or use any sort of chemical fertilizers. Everything is kind of driven by by solar energy, with the movement of animals and the rotation of rotational grazing. And so you have the disturbance, and then you have a set period of time to recover, and then you disturb it again, kind of thing, to really help it grow.
Awesome. Yeah, that's what we're loving about your products, and they taste so much better. Can you give us any information on the difference between I guess what would be considered a conventional egg today and the eggs that you sell from your farm, the chickens you raise?
Yeah, so I guess you could say that conventional saturated fats, we'll call them, is in all meat products and all eggs, right?
Right.
And so a lot of the saturated fats that you're going to get from these conventional products are going to be really high in like omega-6 fats, or really complex chains of fats that are more aimed towards blood coagulation, right? It's the blood thickener, and so people are kind of attributing these poor fats with the raising heart disease, along with the consumption of sugar as well. And so part of being able to introduce these omega-3s, these shorter chain fatty acids that help to thin the blood, that help us, help our arteries kind of, recover from all of the damage that we do them with our diet, is being able to get those omega-3s from a source that is, pasture-based. And so most of these omega-3 fats come from a lot of the green material that's on the ground, like clover and the different types of grasses and what we would consider, many people would consider weeds, right?
Right.
You pull a lot of omega-3s from that, and so when the animals are grazing and they're rotationally grazing onto this land, they're picking up a lot of these omega-3 fats. It's the conversion into their saturated fats, therefore improving the quality of the meat. So the taste is also much better when you're eating meat that comes from an animal that's out on pasture. It's got a completely different flavor range, and we're very used to this this type of flavor that meat has based on how much product we can push into the animal.
Right.
And so
Right.
this is more letting them graze and kind of go and find acorns on the ground,
Right.
and find different roots that they pull up, and so it's
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, we are big fans, and we'll